Okay. 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 Okay.
What is up, Garage Gym Revolution, high ticket culture coaches? Coach Evan here, really excited to be sharing with you lessons from a $3,000 week. I can't believe I'm even saying those words because that is absolutely insane. And what's even more insane is that I don't know anything about chiropractic work, and yet here we are discussing an incredible week from one of my favorite clients. As usual, you need to let me know if you are here so I can shout you out, typing live in the chat below, or if you're watching the replay, typing replay in the chat below so that I can follow up with you afterwards and see how today's live masterclass has affected you and your business and how I can help you out in the future. First things first, you need to know that we're going to go over 3 lessons in today's training. You're going to want to stick around for all of them. And I need to give you a little bit of background as to how we got here in the first place. So you know, I met this chiropractor. His name is Dr. Jeremy. He runs a facility here in Los Angeles. If you are in LA and you need a chiro, he is the man to go see. I met him at a seminar called Functional Range Conditioning. The creator of the Functional Range Conditioning program, his name is Dr. Andre Ospina. He has one for medical practitioners, physios, chiros, acus, all these kind of people, and also dummies like me, personal trainers. And I was interested in getting more mobile. And so I met Dr. Jeremy at one of these conferences, and we kind of hit it off. I also used to live like 2 blocks away from his facility, and I'd actually never seen or been to a chiropractor before. And so a couple months pass after we get certified. I follow him on Instagram. I end up starting to go see him, and I fall in love with his practice. Because his practice was very detailed, and I loved the process of going in and getting a whole understanding as to my body. He does x-rays, he does a movement assessment, he does everything, and most importantly, his practice just spoke to me in a like energy kind of way. And I'm not really an energy kind of guy, but like I knew that the moment I walked in that I was in the right place, and I just trusted the guy. And with something as I don't know how to really put it out there, but for something that involves high velocity adjustments, things that are like cracking your spine, it can be very off-putting. And I went to massage therapy school, and so I knew that I was sensitive to touch from just getting massaged by people who didn't really have a great amount of skill. And so I saw him for a couple months. I got great results. I loved the 2-step process that he had. And after going to see him, I referred all of my clients to him. Now, let's fast forward about 2 years, maybe even 3 years. I am now running my own garage gym. I'm marketing for my garage gym business. I am doing my own ads. I'm doing my own copy. I'm trying to figure out this social media thing. And then business here is great. And I launched the Garage Gym Revolution to help trainers like you do what I was able to do in a much shorter time than I was able to do so. And I saw some of the advertisements that Dr. Jeremy was putting out, and I was kind of not really sure that it was getting his message across. And so I reached out to him. Also, lesson number 0 is if you think you can help somebody, go ask them if you can help them. That's a good lesson for you to learn. So I reached out to him and I was like, hey, how's your ads doing? Like, how is your marketing? How is this? Like, do you know your metrics? Do you know like how much money you're spending on ads? Like, who's doing this for you? And he said he hired another company that is probably the biggest in the game for chiros. And I was like, all right, cool. Well, I know you and this doesn't look like you. And I hope that this is working for you. If it doesn't, I have some ideas on what you might be able to do. Just let me know. And he's like, yeah, sure. I'll reach out to you in a month. You're a trainer that I met. You're a dummy. What do you know about marketing? Which is totally fair. And then maybe like 6 weeks later, he reaches out to me. He's like, all right, I'm done doing what they had me do. It's time to see what you can do. And on our call, I let him know, I was like, hey, like, this is not my world. Doctor of chiropractic, I don't know if I can actually help you out. So we're just going to take this month by month. If I suck, then I'm sorry, but hopefully you can learn a lot of things. But hopefully I don't suck, and hopefully we can get you somewhere. And the process has been a little bit different, but also the idea in how we are getting his message across is just straight from what I was doing with the Garage Gym Revolution, what I was doing for my own garage gym, and what I was doing for, or what I am doing for all of our personal trainers in the Garage Gym Revolution. And so it took us a couple of weeks to figure out what his messaging was. And then the moment we did, man, it was wild. It was wild to see the transformation in his ads. It was wild to see the transformation in his client base. And I wish I had the voicemail that he left me, because it wasn't just about making this much money in a single week or collecting this much money in a single week. It was about the quality of clients that were coming in. And he informed me before signing up that he even had a client that they had to call the police on because they were afraid that he was going to shank people in the office. So they were having some crazy people come in. Again, I don't know anything about chiropractors. I don't know anything about the practice. I know that what he was doing was awesome. And if you're watching this, what you're doing is awesome. And what I did know was that the message that he was getting across with his advertisements was not true to his brand. And so I'm going to give you the very first lesson right now. And that is know your audience. Lesson number 1, know your audience. And so when it came to this new strategy that we had for his marketing, and this is after months of now practicing and seeing some success and seeing a lot of tweaks, we were not hitting the appropriate female audience. I said, there's something about the way that we are marketing to your female audience. And he has a primarily female patient base. I was like, there's something about the way that we're marketing that isn't hitting it. And I took a step back and I was wondering, just like, what is it? Is it that like our messaging is too masculine? Is it that we're talking too much fluff? Is it like, what is it? And I said, who's your ideal client? And I think he said his wife was. I was like, that's great. She's also a DC. And he had this beautiful video of him adjusting his wife and her holding their son. And I was like, we have to figure out how to make this an ad. And we have to talk to women, because you're doing what some people will see as like a violent maneuver for pain. A lot of people like me don't understand what chiropractors really do. But if you get this, you're going to get very powerful responses from women who are now like, okay, like if this woman can hold her child while she's getting an adjustment, I might be willing to take a leap and try this chiropractic thing out for a second. And so we completely changed his messaging, right? And it went from this athletic, like super local audience to this like moms and ladies and gentle care in the hands of this trusting man. And all of a sudden, overnight, it was like 20 leads, just crazy. Now, again, we're paying for advertisement, but trainers, you can do this with your organic messaging. You can do this with your social media posts. You can do this with your text message sequences, with your email, right? If you know your audience, you need to take a step back and ask yourself, how can I help them? Again, I did not know what this chiropractor needed. I just thought that I could help him. And so I reached out to him and I said, let me help you. And so if you know your audience, you're going to have a much better understanding as to how to structure your messaging around the people that you want to serve. Now, we call this our client avatar. If you have heard this, awesome. If you have not heard this, even better, I'm going to send you our client avatar worksheet to help you modify your messaging. And all you got to do, comment below. I see some fires in here. Great. Let me know that you're here live and I'll send it to you when I'm done. If you're watching the replay, type replay. I'll send it to you when I'm done. Right? This worksheet will help you get very clear as to who your ideal client is that you want to serve. And understanding who you want to serve will help you speak their language, right? So you have to know your audience in order to talk their language. And I've met plenty of trainers who want to train elite athletes, even though they've never been elite athletes. And that's okay. Many coaches have never been elite athletes, but they talk elite athlete lingo. And for you to be able to serve those people, you have to know the language that you talk, but you also have to know who they are, not just for their sport, but also as men, as women. Who are these people deep down? What do they want? How can I meet their new analysis needs expectations and wants. The new analysis that we've come up with here in the Garage Gym Revolution that has helped us get clear on our audience. And if you work through your client avatar worksheet, it becomes really simple for you to understand who your audience is and how to speak to them so that you can start converting into high ticket clients. Now, that's a really good lesson when it comes to speaking the message, but you have to know the next step, and that's refining the message, right? It's not just enough to know who you want to serve. You have to speak their language. And so what I saw from a lot of chiropractors, and if any of my chiros are here, I want to see you, let me know in the comments, type chiro here in the comments below. What I was seeing from a lot of different chiropractic marketing agencies was them talking about all the what's that the people were going to get by working with them. We have this, we have a full spectrum spinal palpation assessment. We have a comprehensive blah, blah, blah. They were speaking in languages that I don't know. And I am a dummy, but I want to work with somebody who's going to help me. And I know that if that is you, you can't be speaking the language of chiros, personal trainers. You can't be speaking the language of personal trainers, because how many personal trainers do you train? I'm sure some of you do. I've trained personal trainers, but usually when I was training 74 people, I was training one trainer, maybe two. And so I was never talking the language of personal trainers. I was talking the language of moms and dads, of grandparents and kids and youth athletes. I was talking on a third grade level because I don't care about what you have. I care about how you're going to make me feel. And so I did my research, and you guys should do the exact same thing, right? By going into who you think your top competitors are and watching their language. Look at all the big gyms that are giving you tours about all the shit that they have. And that's all it is. It's just toys and shit. That's all. Like anytime you walk into a gym and you get a tour, like the membership advisor who makes no money, right? Unless they convert you into some other form of training, right? They're walking you through and they're like, okay, we have this squat rack and we have this leg press and we have this and we have a sauna. And it's like, all right, great. That's cool. I will give you $40 a month to use this whenever I want. But if you're trying to get me as a high ticket client, I don't need to know that you have all the best equipment. And this was something that I learned with my very first client in the Garage Gym Revolution when he gave me a physical tour of his space. Neil, if you ever watch this, you know that what I'm talking about. So my buddy Neil, who lives a couple miles away from me, was starting his garage gym. He reached out to for help, and this is actually how the Garage Gym Revolution ended up starting. And when I walked in, I was like, I want you to pretend that I'm a client and that I am going to be training with you, and I just want you to sell me on training. And so I pulled up and he opened my car door. I was like, all right, gentlemen, I'm getting that white glove service. Sounds good. And his gym looked like shit. There was nothing in there. And that was totally fine because my gym looked like shit for a very long time and I was still training a ton of clients and making 5 figures a month doing so. But when he walked in, he's like, all right, so yeah, you can see that we've got a little bit of a mess right here. We don't have a squat rack yet, but it's going to go right there. We do have TRXs, and that's pretty cool, so you can see that. But we're going to get a whiteboard, and we're going to get mirrors, and the dumbbells are coming, so don't worry. And I was like, stop. I don't care about what you have and what you don't have. Because any Instagram model who trains at a park outdoors, who's doing muscle-ups 100 reps in a row, and has an 8-pack, doesn't use equipment. He's using the outdoor rings and he's using a pull-up bar. And that person, if he was training and concerned with other people's health more than his own, which he probably isn't, right, would be able to just show you that I can do this and eventually I'm going to teach you how to do it as well. And it would not matter if he had $100,000 worth of equipment, because all you're showing me is that you're going to look like this and I'm going to help you get there. And I'm going to walk you through that step by step. It's not about what I don't have yet. It's not about what I'm going to have tomorrow. It's about how I'm going to make you feel right now in this space. And you will see the big kahunas talking about all of the what's and none of the how's. And that is a huge mistake, especially if I have any chiros watching this, especially in the DC and physio field. It's all about the what and the magic, and that shit doesn't matter. One of my favorite ads that I'm running right now is from a chiro. If you're here, Travis, what's up? Right? It's from a chiro in Boulder. We took about a month to try to figure this out. We took a huge step back and I was like, we keep talking about all the what's and I just don't think our audience cares. Let's give it to them for $1. Let's give them you for $1. Let's have your wife talk about how awesome this place is and how much better you're going to feel after training here. And you know what? Leads went through the roof. He had to shut down his ad campaign after a week. because he got getting too many leads. We stopped talking about all of the what that people were going to get and started talking about how people were going to feel. And trainers, this is your number one solution. Now, again, I've mentioned this in multiple videos. Trainers exist on two ends of the spectrum on social media. There's the trainer who never asks for people to work with them. And then they wonder why nobody works with them because they never ask. So you do have to pitch, right? And there's a whole strategy on how to do that in this program, right? And it's not that hard. The other end of the spectrum is people who are always pitching and never providing value. Because you know what this is about? It's all about them. It's all about, hey, look what I got. Hey, you want to train with me? Hey, come here. Oh, hey, we just did a badass class. Hey, nobody cares. Again, both of these trainers are missing that key factor of you exist in my social realm to provide value, to make me feel good, and to give me hope that what I want to accomplish is possible. And if you can explain that to me in very simple terms, third grade reading level, right? You have a very high chance of me becoming your client. So refining your messaging after you understand your client avatar will be key on converting your leads and followers, or I should say your friends and followers, into leads and clients. Lesson number 3, simplify your sales process. Now, this is the trickiest one because most of us have a very complicated sales process or no sales process. And, excuse me, sorry. And the problem is you have to understand what your sales process is. You have to understand what your sales pipeline looks like. You have to understand where your leads exist. You have to understand also where to meet them and then how you're going to take them into where you want them to exist. So again, back to one of my other chiros, we had a 3-day sales process. And the whole time it was value, 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 and then pitch. But the problem was the pitch came on the very last day with the adjustment. So with the magic was the very last day. And he was spending 3 hours with this one client hoping to close them. And his closing rate wasn't really good. If you're watching this, Travis, it's all right. I still love you because I know your closing rate is through the roof right now, right? But by simplifying that process to 1 or 2 days, we were able to transform the wow factor of what the work actually was. And instead of spending 3 hours with this potential client, we end up spending 1 hour with a new client. And so when it comes to your complicated sales processes, trainers, right, you have to understand, like, an application doesn't really matter, right? We have an application process in the Garage Gym Revolution, and I'm honestly thinking about getting rid of it. The most important thing is getting somebody on the phone. Hey, Evan, so nice to meet you. Thank you for responding to my message. When can I get you in here so we can start changing your life? Right? And then the moment you get them training, you're feeling good, you're feeling awesome, do you really want what you say you want? Okay, let's go, you're my client. Simple as that. And that is a very, very structured process that I'm simplifying. But for me, an assessment takes 40 minutes, and I've closed 100% of all of my assessments since COVID hit last March. 100%. Most of my clients are closing around 75%. And the reason that it's not at 100 is because they have a lot more volume than I do, right? They have a ton more volume. And for me, I'm very picky about who I let into my garage gym. They're coming into my home. They're coming into my space. They get to meet my wife, my dog, my daughter. It's very particular who we let. We only accept referrals. We're no longer marketing. If we were marketing, we'd be closing closer to that 70% because we have a very clear lead qualifying process. And so we know that not everybody that comes into our world is going to become not just a client, but even a lead, right? We're going to get some BS people, and that's all right. That's just kind of the way of the world. But those that do, who end up becoming leads, we need to qualify them and then immediately start providing them with value, right? And so now, on top of understanding this exists in a pipeline for us. We need to know what to do with these people, right? With these non-leads, right? Give them value. Free PDF. Hey, you want a free workout plan that you're never going to do? I send it to them. You want a free meal plan that you're never going to do? I send it to them. I just keep providing these people with value because I know they're never going to become clients of mine. So I'm just like, email campaign, come join my free Facebook group, and then here's my meal plan, here's my workout plan. Let me know once you've done it, right? The people that end up doing it then become the leads, right? So I'm giving them so much value first, and then I'm saying, okay, now that you've done a little bit of work and you've gotten a ton of value, now I might just let you into my world, right? And the moment people walk in, I look at the clock, and my goal is to finish as quickly as possible. I'm going to give you a quick example of my sales process. Welcome to my gym. Here's a little bit about me. Here's a little bit of how I got started. Here's my application. Please fill this out just where it signs. Don't fill out the payment stuff because you're not paying for anything yet. You might find out that you hate me because I'm a dick, right? Ha ha ha. Cool, they fill it out. All right, let's go over your needs, expectations, and wants. Cool. I have a lot of certifications. Again, I told you 20 minutes ago that I met my chiropractor at a $3,000 functional range and conditioning certification. So I've got a lot. And my certification process used to be so intense. And now you know what it is? All right, stand up. Let's see your feet. Take your shoes off. Cool. Touch your toes. Cool. Can you do a squat? Cool. Can you do a push-up? All right. Can you do a sit-up? Cool. Can you hang from that bar for more than 10 seconds? Cool. Can you do a plank? Cool. Can you reach back? Cool. Any pain? No? We're good to go. Now that might be blasphemy for some of you trainers. Any chiros that are watching this, I know, I'm sorry. But let me tell you, the more simple my assessment process has gotten, the better my sales have gotten. Because most of us, if you are a trainer and you're familiar with FMS or FRC or DNS or NKT or any of the whatever acronyms that might exist out there for assessments, you have to know that unless you're training professional athletes, the numbers that you're taking down don't mean shit to me as your buyer. They don't mean anything. Oh, your bilateral squat assessment was a 2 instead of a 3. Okay, your single leg lift was a 1 on your right. And it's like, those numbers don't mean anything to me. I don't care. What I care about is losing 10 pounds. You're telling me about a single leg lift? What the hell? Why does this matter to me? And also, it took you 40 minutes to do your FMS. That shit doesn't matter. You know what matters? How am I feeling right now? And this is why my assessment process is also about making my clients feel as awesome as possible. And why I moved away from the FMS, why I moved away from FRC. Because what I noticed was all these assessments actually making people feel worse. And I don't want people coming to me feeling bad. We're going to recognize their pain points, but there's no point in pointing out somebody's flaw unless you say, hey, I'm going to fix that. Don't worry about that, right? So now it's just like, can you touch your toes? If you're in pain, I go into a little bit more detail, right? If you can't feel your butt, I have you do some band walks. You ever done this before? You'd be surprised how many people have never done band walks, right? And so once they do, like, oh, great, I feel something. I didn't know it was going to work today. I know, and it's only been 15 minutes. Pretty cool, right? All right, let's go over the way I program. We use this system called FitMaps. I created it. You're going to pick one of 4 paths: strength, power, hypertrophy, or physique. What you're going to do. All right, cool. Here are the rules. Rule number 1, don't be a baby. Rule number 2, don't hit yourself in the face. I go over all 15 rules. They have a laugh. And then I say, all right, cool. You don't want to know how we train? All clients are required to train 3 times a week. All clients have to commit to a 12-week minimum. You can pay for that in full and get a 10% discount, or you can put a six-week deposit down right now, and we'll go week to week from here. Which would you like to do? And that's it. And every time I'm looking at the clock, I'm like, can I beat my last assessment time? I want to get this person in and out as quickly as possible, because the sooner they are out, the sooner they start training. So for me, simplifying my sales process really means simplifying it. Getting people to feel as good as possible, getting people to avoid as much pain and as many reminders of pain as possible. And if I have chiros watching this, again, I'm not a DC. I help personal trainers, but I know what the marketing is out there right now. It's all pain-based. And that is not the way that we do things. That's not what attracts me. That's not what attracts our audience either. It's about feeling better. It's about feeling better. And if you can make me feel good in your messaging because you know who I am, if you can make me feel good in your messaging because you know how to talk my language, and then you make me feel good in your sales process because I'm so excited to start moving better and feeling better, you're going to have a client for the rest of your life. And so this is a process. This is something that we learn in our new Garage Gym Revolution portal. There are 5 courses in our portal: business development, lead generation, lead nurture and sales, delivering fulfillment for high ticket clients in person and online, and then our inner circle. And if you want a part of that, all you got to do is comment below. If you're watching live, I want you to type level up in the comments below. And I'm going to send you a message and show you how you can get started. Yes, we're doing a little bit of advertising in the middle of this messaging, but if this spoke to you, and if you've been watching this the whole time, that means you're ready to level up. So comment level up in the comments below. If you're watching it live, add the live. If you're watching the replay, add the replay. And if you have any questions and we're not friends, make sure to add me as a friend, send me a message so I can get it, and I'll be happy to send you that client avatar worksheet and help you in whatever capacity that I can. That's it for me, guys. Happy Monday, March 15th. I will see you tomorrow for 2 Minute Tuesdays. Adios.